Today I am walking through the South Downs National Park. This walk should end up being around 25 kilometers, which is around 15 miles. This is the exact route that I'm doing. It sits at the top of the South Downs National Park. It looks like it basically circles Fernhurst. I don't believe there's any overlap with the South Downs Way. I've done that intentionally because, as I'm sure all of you who are watching this saw my video, I believe 2 uploads ago, where I attempted the South Downs Way and was unable to complete it. I only made it through 2 days. Reason being, I had overpacked. My backpack was 25 kilos and I hadn't done any training or preparation. So if you haven't checked out that video, I'll leave a link in the description and I'll put a tag up here. Yeah, obviously it didn't go to plan, but I have received loads of incredible support and comments from experienced hikers, and it's really helped. So I appreciate everyone who has watched it, left a comment, and I'm gonna get to training, which is partly what this hike is going to be. I'm wearing a backpack and this time round it's 10 kilos. So I want to see the difference. I already feel the difference, 10 kilos versus 25 kilos. This is a lot better. And also the distance today being 15 miles. I want to see how I get on with that, because when I was trying to do the South Downs Way walk, I was walking actually around 20 miles a day, and there's a horse coming, so I'm gonna have to end this clip here. Let's crack on. That was definitely the right move. Yeah, she thanked me for putting this big tripod away, because horses aren't used to seeing a 5-foot stick in the middle of a path. So yeah, nice chat though. Anyways, what I was saying is I'm going to be using this walk today as a training walk, one of many, because that was one of the problems previously when I attempted the South Downs Way. So hopefully the distance is more manageable, the weight of the backpack is more manageable, and I'm going to document today's hike in case any of you would like to go on it. It is forecasted for quite heavy rain. Part of me was contemplating not coming out today, but we live in the UK and the majority of the year it isn't the best weather, and a bit of water is no reason to not get outside and get after it, enjoy UK's nature. The South Downs is incredible, and I'm just trying to explore as much of it as I can, as well as a lot of the other national parks in the UK. So hope you enjoyed this video. I would have been overlaying a few clips here and there of the walk so far. It starts off in Haslemere. You basically park at the train station, you walk up through the town, take a left, walk through some woodland, cross a B road, and then you pretty much are where I am now, which is at the top of the South Downs National Park. So we're about 4 kilometers in, feeling really good, and that is pretty much everything. Right on cue, it's just started to rain a bit, so it's quite light at the moment, but it is meant to get heavier, so I'm going to try and get ahead of the game and put the waterproof cover on the bag, because I don't want it to get soaking. And whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to grab a quick snack. Some biscuit bars, have some water too. Pop that there for a sec. Like I said, it's actually not that bad at the moment, but I'd rather do it now whilst it's dry-ish than wait until it's pouring. Hopefully it doesn't actually rain that much and the forecast is wrong, but it is looking quite ominous. and grey actually might have been the most perfect timing possible, because now it is actually raining. Okay, let's do this. So when you look at the elevation on all trails, it does say that at the start, well, sort of after about 5 kilometers in, there is a quite steep ascent, which I assume is what I'm walking up right now. But I'd actually rather get this out of the way at the start when I'm feeling fresh. And because it's on a road, it's actually not too challenging to walk on. I don't have to deal with any sort of loose stones, etc. So trying to think of the positives. This bench here has some of the best views I've seen for a bench in a while. Unfortunately, it is quite cloudy and misty, but I guarantee on a clear day, this view is absolutely unbelievable, because even now it looks epic. Scenic bench number 2. I'm going to remember this walk by saving it as the Scenic bench walk. The South Downs are so epic. I just can't get over it. That is an awesome tree, if you ask me. That steep ascent at the start was 1,000,000% worth it, because the views from up here are absolutely incredible. I really encourage you to get outside. If you live near the South Downs National Park or any of the national parks, honestly, spend a weekend, an afternoon if you can, depending on work. Just get outside, get in nature, do some walking. I fluctuate between not listening to anything and just being present with nature. And sometimes I might put on a podcast on super low volume so I can still hear the birds, but I'm taking in some information at the same time. But yeah, honestly, this is just incredible. Even on days like today where it's a bit grey, beats being inside. As physics states, what goes up must go down. Time to descend. We're about 7 kilometers in. Feeling good. I'm going to stop at around 12 kilometers for lunch. It's about halfway through. And sometimes walking downhill, I've got to be careful and look where I'm actually going. It's harder than going uphill, but this isn't too bad. I can't believe how much of a difference walking with this 10 kilo bag is compared to the 25 kilos. When I was doing the South Downs Way, when I was at like 7 kilometers in, I was already in serious pain. So 10 seems to be significantly more manageable, which is a great sign, because I was almost worried that what if I can't even walk with 10 kilos on my back? Maybe I'm just not cut out for this, but good news, I can do it. So Yeah, let's continue on. We're about to enter Blackdown Park. The gate's shut, but that's for vehicles. Public footpath. We can go through here. Nice. I'm not sure if that is actual rain that's just started to send it down, or if that's the wind blowing it from the trees, but if I look over there, firstly, the views look insane. Secondly, I can definitely confirm it is bucking it down. It was only a matter of time. So, welcome to the UK. We haven't had rain for a while, to be honest, so it's probably good for the plants. But yeah, check this out. So the great thing about walking in mid to late August is blackberries. You come across a blackberry tree, they're literally so nice, super sweet. I think I'm just going to stay here for like 5 minutes and eat as many blackberries as possible. So good, look. This whole bush. Turns out there are hundreds of blackberry bushes around here in Blackdown Park. I'm heading down there. Really nice path, but yeah, I'm getting a bit carried away with eating blackberries here. They're just literally so good. I love fruit so much, especially when it's free. Okay, lunchtime. I'm gonna sit on this stump. It's pretty much exactly halfway. These are my views. It's pretty epic, this forest. Can't complain. And I'm incredibly hungry. Homemade cheese and ham bagels. Alright, I'm going to use my phone for this clip because my Osmo Action 5 Pro is an incredibly wide angle lens. But I was sat here having my lunch and I was just looking out, keeping an eye out for wildlife, and then warning, if you don't like spiders, look away now. I'm going to try getting real close, but saw this dude keeping me company whilst I ate my bagels. Be careful that I'm not disturbing the web or any other ones. He's having some lunch as well, to be honest, it looks like. Okay, you ready? I'm going to try and get nice and close, but we're now into the forest. Those bagels went down a tree. I've got more energy, re-energized, had lots of fluids, so the bag's a bit lighter. I'm feeling fueled. We're gonna crack on for the second half of this walk into the forest. So epic. Check this out. Absolutely love it. Haven't passed anyone in ages. It's just me out here on my own. Just the way I like it. I've said it in multiple videos, something about bridges that go over little streams I absolutely love. Uh-oh. That's definitely something I'm going to keep an eye out for. And the last thing I want is for a huge tree to fall down on me. That'd be less than ideal. It's approaching 3 p.m. and I've got around 10 kilometers left. I might put my foot on the gas a little bit for the last 10k, push the speed a little bit, maybe film a little bit less. I've got loads of cool footage. I can actually hear the chainsaws. Put the foot on the gas a little bit. I live in Winchester and this walk started in Haslemere, so it's about 1 hour drive with no traffic. So yeah, we'll see, but I'll keep you updated. I was just like, check this out, man, honestly. I keep saying it, but you just can't beat it. I mean, videos don't do it justice to what I'm looking at. I'm filming on a little DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro, so I have like no real control over the ISO, etc. But it's a 4K small action camera. Got a little mic here, fits in my pocket, easy to get out, super wide lens so I can hold it in front of my face and you can see everything. It smells so good. You can just see it looks like a dinosaur's ploughed through here. Let's see where they're cutting down trees. Let's see if I can get a tree falling, but yeah, it smells unreal. It's these pine. That smells so good. You rub it in your fingers like that. That didn't actually smell of anything, but yeah, something smells good. Check this out. Pretty huge pond. The majority of this walk's obviously been through woodland, forest. But it's nice to see some open water. Very, very peaceful. No waves to the pond. And there's a little picnic bench just behind this sign there. I feel very grateful that right now there's no rain, and I've pretty much not encountered much rain at all, despite it seemed to be pouring everywhere else. So yeah, what an absolute success. I've still got around 8 kilometers left, but part of me was anticipating the majority of today's walk was going to be in the rain, and somehow that's not how it's turned out. Check out all these orange leaves. So cool. Yeah, let's go. There hasn't been that many steep inclines on this walk, but we're about 20 kilometers in. It probably doesn't do it justice, but that particular hill was incredibly steep. I had to call upon a stick on the floor, which I'm still kind of using now, to be honest, 2, 1 forward, and help me get myself up this steep hill. One of the comments actually on my South Downs video, I believe someone suggested getting some walking poles, which I do not have. I sometimes get a stick like I am doing now and just use that. I will never snap sticks from trees, especially healthy trees. I try to find ones that are already on the floor. But yeah, maybe I should invest into some actual walking poles, but something quite like freeing, I don't know if that's the right word. Just using a stick that you find on the floor makes it a bit exciting. You kind of become friends with the stick for the walk, your companion for that particular journey. This probably just sounds really weird, but I enjoy doing it, so we shall see. But yeah, final 5k. I don't know how much more I'm going to film, to be honest. I think I might just wrap up the video here. My overview of the walk is that it was super cool. 100% would recommend doing it. Again, I'll link the all trails below, the particular walk that I'm doing. I'd say it's pretty medium difficulty. Most of it was on good paths. There's some steep inclines and declines. So I'd say like easy to medium on the difficulty scale. But yeah, scenery was epic. The South Downs in general are so incredibly epic. But yeah, if you've made it this far in the video, that is absolutely awesome. I really, really appreciate you. If you've stuck around from after watching the South Downs video and you're still enjoying the content, then that makes me really happy. Trying to connect with more hiking, outdoors people, learn from those more experienced. I'm very much at the start of my journey. So any sort of feedback, suggestions on walks I should do, kit I should buy, etc. is fully welcome with open arms. Just checking in to say that the rain officially hit the last hour. It's been pretty heavy, but I was anticipating the whole walk, or at least 70% of it, to be in this sort of weather. So the fact that it was only really the last hour is actually a good thing. Thank you, trusty stick. You've served me well, and I hope you go on many more adventures with other walkers, helping them on their journeys. Appreciate you.